Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe the best stories are the ones shared over a glass of wine or a cocktail. Each week, I sit down with women who've said yes to building something meaningful, often after years of putting everyone else first. We talk business, big dreams, and the mess in between. And of course, a few favorite drinks. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. If you've been around here a while, you've heard me say it. Action brings clarity. And this week's guest is such a great example of that truth in motion. Rachael Davila built her VA business long before virtual assistant was a common term. And now she's helping other women grow with confidence without trying to do it all themselves. In this conversation, we talk about the power of taking imperfect action, learning to trust your intuition, and celebrating the wins that remind us we're exactly where we're meant to be. Here is Rachael Davila. Hey, Rachel, it's great to meet you.
Great to meet you too. I was just listening to your podcast this morning on my way home from Toastmasters.
Thank you for listening.
Of course. Yes, I'm loving it.
Toastmasters, that's fun.
Yeah, I wrote a book and I've been being asked to do like presentations, and I don't have a problem with the writing of it, but it's the presenting part that is like virtually it's awesome because I can just have my script and I just read it. But then I'm like, I don't want people to just see me reading my notes. I want to have more confidence in my ability to present and speak. So I found Toastmasters. They're a great group and I'm giving it a shot.
That's awesome. Yeah, my brother was a member when he was in working years. He's retired now, but he was a member of Toastmasters and just really highly recommended it.
Yeah,
super awesome. Great way to meet people and build your confidence.
Yeah,
I love speaking in public, though. I mean, I think I'm one of the weird ones.
Well, I don't have a problem with it. I just, I think I feel like there's shoulds that I'm placing on myself that maybe aren't really there. But I haven't done any of the doing to say, well, this is how I do it. And I do see where Toastmasters is kind of rigid in their formats. But I also kind of feel as though you need that foundation of like for me, I'm kind of a learner. I feel like I need to learn more things before I'm confident enough to step out and do it. But I also feel like once I kind of have that basic outline, that basic foundation, then I can step into the confidence and the next, the way I would do it kind of thing.
So. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I hear a lot of women say that too. It's something that we put on ourselves that, well, I'm not quite ready yet, but you get ready by doing it, right? So like you getting out there and practicing, that's going to give you some more confidence. And I'm quite certain that you're ready.
Thank you. From your lips to my guide's ears, that I will get the download that yes, I am indeed ready. Yes. I feel it too, but I feel like I think doing conversations, podcasts, I have my own podcast and I get very, very nervous, but then I listen to it, I'm like, that was really good. I think that does help along the journey of building confidence and getting to that place.
So. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If we waited until we felt ready, I don't think we'd do anything. We'd be stuck forever.
Yeah, I think they said ready isn't a feeling, it's an action.
Oh, and I love that.
I love it too. I feel like that is right. A lot. Motivation isn't a feeling, it's action. No. All the things that we think we need in order to level up are action steps, not a feeling. So
yeah. You don't get clarity from thinking about it and perfecting it in your own bubble. Right. You have to get out there and actually do it to get that confidence and to practice and get better.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's back up a second. Jump right in. Tell us a little bit about you, your name and what you do. And obviously you've written a book. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachael Davila. I am the proud owner of Extra Hands Virtual Assistants. I've been a VA since 2005, back when nobody knew what a VA was. And for those of you listening who don't know what a VA is, it's a virtual assistant. And 4 years ago, I hired my own VA to help me with my business, and I learned how scary it can be from the client side of the VA client relationship. And all the potential clients that came to me telling me how scary it was, it made sense to
Mm,
me. And I learned along the journey with my VA what business owners need to know when they're looking to find, hire, and work with a VA. So, uh, 2 years ago, we started a podcast of, Hey, do I need a VA? And then this June, I published my first book, Hey, do I need a VA? A how-to guide to find, hire, and work with a VA. With my coaching and consulting side of my business, I really can help business owners figure out that learning curve before they're invested, because a lot of the struggles that I see business owners face is they go for the cheap alternative before
mm,
doing the work behind it to find who's going to really help them partner well with their business. I like to educate, motivate, and inspire business owners to find the right fit. I look at it like a ripple effect. If they find the right VA, whether it's me or somebody in my directory, then they get to show up as their best selves. They get to shine in their business as the star. I was a stage manager in my college years, and
how fun.
I never wanted to be on stage. I loved the backstage things, but I loved that there are no small players. Everyone has a
Mm,
role. Every piece of the production is valuable. And I feel that that's the same in business. As a VA, I'm behind the scenes. I'm the backstage. I keep it all going. And my owners, my clients, they're shining. They're showing
mm.
up for their clients. They're doing the things that got them into business, and it just ripples outward. So
Yeah, that's great. Well, and thinking back about some of the things you were mentioned in the beginning, cheap isn't necessarily inexpensive, right?
thank you. I say that all the time.
Ah, do you?
I love that, Penny.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That is
if
very
you
true.
just buy on price, you get what you paid for
Yeah.
sometimes, you know? How do you suggest that owners and the people that are out there creating or the entrepreneurs that need help, how do you suggest that they map out a plan? I mean, where do they get started?
I outlined it in my book. Um,
Nice segue.
I think the first thing is the mindset of looking at your business and bringing on a team member as an investment. You're investing in your business. And so looking for somebody who can be the most valuable asset to you. I talk a lot about filling the gaps. A lot of business owners got into business to do their passion,
Mhm.
not the backstage stuff. And so, it's not just, can somebody create a graphic and put it up for social media, or can somebody, send a client the intake forms? It's, if you're highly disorganized, you need somebody more organized to keep you on track, in motion, right? Or do you just need a doer? So
Mm,
I let
interesting.
a lot of business owners don't know this, but there are two and a half kinds of VAs. There's a doer, a collaborator, and a doer who leans into a collaborator. These are my terms. It's not, there are other versions of it, but that's the one that I use. So doers are task oriented. Tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. And they do it great, but the business owner has to lead the vision, has to know
Mhm,
the process, know what they want done, and be able to clearly communicate that to the VA,
yep.
because they're just going to do the work.
Mhm,
Collaborators are more solution oriented. they're big picture thinkers. They can look at tasks with their role in the long term. So the business owner doesn't need to have quite such a breakdown of it. They can be more visionary, more broad picture, because that's really where they thrive. And so knowing your managing style, knowing how you lead, what you need from your assistant can help you determine which VA type is right for you. And a lot of potential clients that come to me are struggling because they might have hired a doer not knowing that they need a collaborator.
Oh, wow.
And so I feel like those two things are kind of the starting point, is knowing yourself. What do you, as a business owner, what do I need? What gaps are causing me the most
Mm.
struggle? And
Mm-hmm.
how do I find the person to do that? Because creating the handoff list is kind of easy. I mean, I have a whole chapter on it, so it is a process, but I think most business owners, they can easily say, you know what, if somebody could take off these things,
Mm-hmm.
my life would be so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk about the qualities behind the person, not just can they do the tasks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you guys like talking to each other? Can you have a conversation? You know, do they get you? Can you articulate your vision to a point where they're like, yes, I'm in, full on support, let's do this? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I have a VA team in the Philippines. My VA, Rusty, he is amazing at what he does. He's very creative with graphics and design. He's still very much a doer, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine because I'm very much a leader. I can break that down for myself. But what I loved when I told him I was writing the book, he was like, "Yes, let's do this. You have so much knowledge. Let's go for it." And he did the book cover. And it
Oh, cool.
was it was such a beautiful collaboration of me knowing where his strengths lied and his enthusiasm for where I was going with it,
Mm.
that really made it like, yes, I know I needed to hire other VAs to kind of fill in the gaps that he and I both had for the project, but I never once felt like he wasn't on board with me, which is a beautiful place to be when you're a business
Mm.
owner, kind of wading into new territory, going, I'm writing a book. Who said this was a good idea? I know it came as a dream, but I don't know. Like, am I even an expert enough to do it? And he was like, yes, you are, and you can do
Mm.
that. He he stepped in to be that cheerleader for me that I needed when I needed it, which is a quality not everyone possesses. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know I needed that until we were going through it. So
Yeah. Oh gosh. That's very important to have somebody that is in your corner.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because we put on ourselves, like we were talking about the, not doing things in the beginning, like just getting
right.
out there and doing it is the practice and builds the confidence. But then there's also that, oh gosh, you get that flighty feeling like, am I doing this right? Am I helping anybody by this? Am I following the right path? And you talked a little bit about the download,
Yeah,
getting in a dream. That's, I feel, important for us to listen to our intuition and to listen to that, our source, our higher
yeah,
power, and to feel I'm doing the right thing and to keep that purpose in mind.
yeah.
How do you translate that? Do you meditate?
Oh,
Here's where I'm going with that. I feel like we have to slow down to speed up. We have to go to our quiet place. We have to listen to our intuition, our higher
yeah,
power, our source, because there's no question that we've been given, that we have in our hearts, that there's not already an answer to. We just have
mhm.
to listen for it and wait for it to come to us. And if we're always busy, 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 doing, we don't get that. We don't get the answer. We just try and push forward and plow through it, hustle, hustle, hustle.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, I feel.
No. And you're speaking my language, Penny.
Yeah.
I I love this so much. So, a couple of things that came to me So I've been working on my healing journey for 8 years. It started with Louise Hay's You Could Heal
Mm,
Your Life. It went to The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Like I
mm,
can pinpoint those as kind of the building blocks
mm-hmm.
to even knowing I needed to step back and
Uh-huh.
listen, and that I had an intuition to tap into. In like for so long I didn't. I listened to all the voices. You should, this is
Oh,
how you know,
yeah.
10 ways to build this. And my business was small, and I had this vision of what success looked like, and I hit it,
Mm,
and it almost killed me. Like I was like,
mm,
"Oh, that happened way too fast." I had a bit of PTSD. I got sick, diagnosed with diabetes. It was like the universe conspired with my body to make me pause. And I
mm,
think that unfortunately a lot of women, it takes something like that. But also that healing journey isn't just letting go of past things. It's building that trust with yourself, going, right? I don't have to know the answers. I can trust that they will come, right? Everything happens in divine right time and order. All I need
mm-hmm.
and more is provided to me. Like just we we were talking on my podcast really just this morning about abundance mindset versus
Mm,
scarcity mindset.
mm-hmm.
And I know for 18 years I was in scarcity mindset. I need another client, I need to do this, I need to do
Oh,
this, and that
mm-hmm.
hustle. And what I found, I don't know if you know, I fell down the rabbit hole of human design, and
Oh,
I'm a manifester, which for manifestors, we get big bursts of creative energy and we have to act on it when we're in the burst. But then
mm,
we need this downtime, this rebuilding of that energy to kind of pause, that pause. And for so long, I was this achiever. Check off the list, check off the list, do
mm,
this.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like now that I know myself better, now
Mm-hmm.
that I've learned the strategies to
Mm-hmm.
pause, to take take stock of where I'm at. It wasn't until I started taking myself through that I started to
Mm.
go, "Oh, okay. Phases, right? Milestones, right? All of
Yeah.
these things." And I'd like to say I was a really good client for myself, but that's a lie. I was terrible. I kept pushing myself beyond my limits. And when your body is like, "Hey, you can't do that anymore,"
Mm-hmm.
you have to find those ways to quiet down. I'm not a meditator, but I like yoga because it has
Mm,
that meditative quality,
mm-hmm.
but my body's in motion too. So that I'm like, because I was like, I can't just lay here. My brain is too active. I need motion to kind of get my brain to calm
Mm,
down.
mm-hmm.
But I've learned tools along the way from teachers and guides that really did help to kind of go, get it out of your head, see it on paper. You can organize it on paper. You can't organize it in your head
Mm,
when it's
mm-hmm.
swirling around.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answered your
It
question.
does. It does. Our businesses only grow at the speed that we do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that hard. I think for years I was an achiever too in my previous job and jobs. And, breaking it down, here's your goal, break it down into chunks. That's great. It works. But that doesn't necessarily dictate your path going forward.
Right.
You've got to know in your own heart, are you moving toward your purpose? What
Yeah.
is your purpose? And to slow down long enough to understand, what is my purpose? What is this thing that I'm going for, this goal? How does it serve my purpose? How does it serve the people that I'm trying to serve? And just slowing down long enough to hear it. And,
Yeah.
that hustle mentality, that I feel like that patriarchal corporate role where, this is what you do. You go to work every day, 8 to 5. you're clocking in, you have these tasks. It doesn't really feel like, you're a worker bee, you're doing the
Yeah.
thing and you do what you have to do. But somewhere in your soul, you're feeling a pull to serve people, or most of us, and especially
Yeah.
women. I feel like we're
Yes.
really more aligned with that intuition, and that it's a different cycle. It's not that 24-hour hustle, hustle, hustle
Yeah.
pie where you've got a limited amount of the thing and you're going for your piece of it. And we're more drawn to serving others, and that means I'm going to make more pie.
Right.
you know y'all come, let's have a little social and bring the ice cream and have
Yeah.
fun with it. So
I
yeah, it
think
doesn't
it's
have to be
knowing,
hard.
I think it's knowing your why. Why are you
Mm-hmm.
doing something? And you call it a purpose. And I think those are different words of the same meaning,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think if we are called to a purpose, and I feel like you kind of mentioned, you touched on that, like that download that won't leave you alone, that doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
I found virtual assistants on accident. I knew I wanted something that I could do from home, that I had young kids at the time, and I wanted somewhere that I was valued. I had been a
Mm.
corporate admin, and to them I was a line item, a number and a spreadsheet, even
Mm-hmm.
though my team, the people that I worked with on a daily basis, totally valued me. When I when they downsized us, it was just a number game.
Yeah.
We weren't people, and I really was like, I want to work with people who value me, who know that the work that I do for them brings them value. That I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just a number, I'm not just an expense on a spreadsheet. I am a person, and I'm a gift to them. The clients that I work with now tell me that all the time. It's real friendships, it's relational, not transactional.
Mm.
And 25-year-old me couldn't have told you that that was my
Right.
purpose or my why. I just
Mm-hmm.
knew I wanted to work with people that valued me,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt so not valued in the role that I had, that I was, it's like, I don't want to spend 30 years building someone else's business and not feeling valued in the process,
Right.
you know?
Right. Building somebody else's empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. That's another thing. I feel like, the not necessarily recognition, but the collaboration when you're working
Yeah.
with someone and you're giving value to them and they understand that. That's really nice. That's a nice way to live, to feel that
It is.
value.
I always tell clients and anyone who, I'm like, I when someone doesn't know what they want to do,
Hmm.
I tell them to do a love it, like it, hate it list. The
Ah.
love it, the love it tasks are the things that if you got to go to work every day, it would never feel like work. You're
Hmm.
doing the things you love doing. And like it's are things you'll do. They don't jazz you as much as the love it list, but they're not,
Hmm.
you don't go to work dreading those things, right?
Hmm.
The hated list are things you won't do. Mine is data entry, wiping people's butts,
Oh,
and cold calling, right?
oh
It's
my
not a
gosh.
very long list, but I'm like, I'm not doing that. I got people who will do those things. But but I love the idea of building something that you love going to. That
Hmm.
Monday isn't a bad word for me anymore. I actually
Mm.
like Monday's my favorite day of the week because I get to come back to work. And I love
Mm.
that, like, in my mindset, that flip from I gotta go to work to I get to go to work. It was such a huge gift. Just, right? Yes, I work
Yeah.
hard. Yes, I'm building something new. It's not always rainbows and roses, but I don't dread it.
No Sunday afternoon or evening migraines.
Right. I mean, Friday, I kind of like, let's keep Friday,
Let's
because
get this stuff
I'm
done.
a little like burnt out and I kind of need a weekend, but it's because I'm like, what else do I get to do? What else can I do?
Nice. Well, and you mentioned the feeling valued by others. That's a bonus, I feel like. I also feel like you can't really guarantee that. I mean, all you can do is serve and do the thing that you love and use it as a way to serve others. And they may or may not appreciate it, but you have to feel good about it anyway because you did the best that you could, or you did something of value and you know it,
Yeah.
and they may not. They may not
Yeah.
understand it.
But I think from my perspective, though, I can almost not guarantee. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, different people have different personalities. But when I take clients through my interview process,
Mm-hmm.
I am looking for those keywords. I am looking
Mm,
for, oh, that's a great question. I didn't even think about that. Or, oh,
mm,
you can help me with that. Like, there are things that come up when I'm interviewing clients before we even sign the contract. And it goes back to like those qualities. As
mm-hmm.
a VA looking for a client, I'm looking for those qualities in my clients just as much as they're looking for qualities in me. And, you know, I don't have to work with everyone that comes to me. I get to choose
Mm.
who I work with. I don't work with, those, I call them New York type A workaholics, right? The
Oh
ones who are like,
gosh.
I'm going to make $6 million in my first month of business.
Mm.
We've all had people like that show up in our lives. That level of anxiety is like, nope, that hurts my stomach. I can't do
That's not
that.
aligned.
And I just thank you. I'm not the right VA for you. I wish you luck. And now I have a VA referral directory so I can refer
Mm.
clients out because, you know, you talked about collaboration. I view VAs as collaborators, colleagues, not competition. So if I'm not the right fit, it's not a worth statement about myself. It's the client and I didn't mesh. We're
Mm-hmm.
not the right fit for each other. So I can refer them to other VAs so they can at least see if someone else is. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that kind of paying it forward because it's a ripple. It's another kind of ripple.
Absolutely. Yeah, women supporting women. Yeah, I can see that. Uh, I want to circle back to something you said
Okay.
earlier. You said there are two and a half kinds of VAs, and I heard
Oh.
the doers and the collaborators. What's the half?
The half is doers who lean into collaborator. So a lot of new BVAs they don't know what they don't know. So they're
Mm,
learning. So they tend to be more doers um, until they start to kind of go, okay, I've got a couple clients under my belt. I'm seeing how this client does this
huh?
that might be helpful for this client for the next thing. And so they start to kind of lean into collaborate. They still might just want to do the things, but with an eye for how can I streamline this? How can I make this a little bit easier or better? And it usually comes after they've been in business for a couple of years or they get that confidence of, I
Mm,
do know what I'm doing. Because I don't feel that years in business necessarily translates to
right.
years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if what you're saying is true, you've been in a corporate or you have a lot of years of experience, even if it doesn't translate into years in business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that happens a lot in the VA world. We get a lot of stay-at-home moms who homeschooled kids who are now coming back into the workforce, and they're like, I've been home for 20 years, and what can I do? I'm like, well, you ran a household. I mean, running a family is probably a whole lot harder than running a CEO's schedule,
Lots of
right?
skills. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Skills translate across the board. It doesn't matter. And as women, we tend to discount those skills that we've acquired just, right? I can do
Mm-hmm.
bookkeeping. I manage my family's books, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm a scheduler, I'm a taxi driver, I'm a cook, I can research, like all these things that I'm like, well, I don't want to do all those things for others, but
Mm-hmm.
at home I got to do it,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like doers find their confidence and then they start to be able to lean into collaboration more to say, I'm seeing this pattern. Maybe if we do this, they offer solutions and things that they
Mm-hmm.
start to pick up.
They're finding their voice. That confidence, like, there it comes again, gaining that confidence.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
and confidence is a big thing, and I'm grateful I found it in my late 40s. 20-year-old version of me, she did not have it. I look at my daughter, she's 22, and I'm seeing her even just from 18 to 22, seeing that
Mm-hmm.
confidence grow. And I'm like, girl, just wait 3 more years. You're going to be amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
10 years after that, you're not even going to recognize who you were then. And I look back on my journey because I did in the book, I went back to when I started my business. And, that version of me couldn't even comprehend this version of me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the growth and the learning, the confidence, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
think it comes back to what you were saying in the beginning about taking that pause. I
Mm-hmm.
take I have a make a plan Monday that I invite people to so that they can look at their week ahead with realism, because so many of us we try to cram so
Mm.
much in and we just don't have the energy, the time, or that one line item on our to-do list actually is 14 tasks
Yeah,
long,
right. Yep.
um but one of the steps is reflections. What worked well last week and what
Mm.
didn't? Where did we struggle? But looking at struggles with curiosity, not
Mm.
judgment, that's a huge, for women especially, because we tend to discount all the things we did right and only focus on the things
Mm.
that we didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And taking that judgment piece and flipping it into curiosity gives us that like pause to kind of go, oh, well, I did half of the test, right? It was 14 steps long and I got 7 of them done, right? I'm much
Yeah,
further along than my brain is letting me be because I didn't
exactly.
cross the finish line with it.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
huge. Like giving
yeah,
ourselves that grace and being able to recognize not only, okay, doing having this long list of things to do is setting myself up to fail,
yes,
and taking that judgment out and being curious, that's so important.
yeah. And, I learned that lesson 5 years ago. And so, it takes practice, right? When I
Mm-hmm.
when my brain starts spiraling, I'm like, is that true? No, it's not true. Calm down,
Right.
pause, take a deep breath. What's really going on here? What is that thought trying to teach you?
Mm-hmm.
But 5 years ago, it was like, oh my God, I have to do it. I have to do it and really think about it consciously. And now it's a little more subconscious.
Mm-hmm. That huge weight and the pressure of that makes it more
Yeah.
difficult to do.
Yeah.
If you've got this looming task and it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to do this,
Yes.
that's not joyful.
No.
It doesn't make the task go better. I love the question you asked. Like, is that really true? Ask the better question. Is it true that the world will end if I don't get this thing done?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not. And I mean, I feel like so much of what we do as women is we take it on. And one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn when my son got his driver's license, he stopped needing me and became his
Oh,
own driver, his
the
own
freedom. Hmm.
social, right? But nobody tells moms how to let go of that role that we play for so long,
Uh-huh.
right? And I still had my daughter, so I was in this like in between, right? One step out of that role, but still
Wow.
in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was what kept coming up from coaches and people was, what's yours to control, right? It was so hard to put that down. I'm still even to this day, 10 years of really hard work doing it, I still have to go, is that mine to control? No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Letting go of my perfectionism in the way that I would do it and
Mm-hmm.
just accepting that there's nothing there for me to manage. I just have to sit back and watch the show, as my dad says. You know, sometimes it's popcorn, sometimes it's nail biting, but
Yeah.
it's not my show to run. It's somebody else's, and
Mm-hmm.
ooh,
Yeah, that's a
that
big
was
lesson.
hard.
Yeah. Well, it's our goal to raise a good human.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're a good human. Now what do I do? It's
Wow.
kind of like, being a being a high achiever, you have a goal and you reach it and it's like, oh, it's you have to celebrate those things and enjoy them and then realize that okay, I don't need to be so uptight about this because it's, I've done it. So again, where's my purpose? What am I walking towards? As I get older, I realize my older, wiser self already knows.
Yeah.
And I look back at the way I was in my younger years and franticness, the going, going, going all the time and not slowing down to listen. But as I get older, I realize that, okay, I'm older and wiser now. I could tell my younger self, don't worry so much about that. It's going to be fine. So I teach my clients too that, okay, let's talk to our older, wiser self. Picture yourself in your 80s or older. And what does she want for you? What does
Yeah.
she already know? She knows it. She knows what's ahead for you. So, what how are you being today that's going to move you towards that older, wiser self? She's coming to get you. She's taking you along with her. Don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about all this stuff so much. Realize, if you're doing the thing, you're putting one foot in front of the other that's towards your purpose and towards your wiser self and
Mm-hmm.
listening to her. And it just all comes together.
How do you listen to your wiser self? You
Great
asked
question.
you asked me the question.
Yes.
I'm gonna mirror you.
I do meditate. I find that very helpful in getting to sleep, in starting my day. I feel like when you have all the thoughts going through your brain, and you walk into a room because you're going, 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 and you're doing all the things, and you walk into the room and you go, "Why did I just come in here? What was I going to get, or what was I going to do in this room?" And I don't do that as often now since I started meditating. I feel like I'm more present. So in the present moment, and I can be paying attention to what's in front of me.
Yeah.
And that allows me to not be so scattered and not be so frantic. It slows me down. And I think the thing I love most about it is the way it makes other people feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're talking with someone and you can be fully present and listen to what they're saying and get curious about it, it
Yeah.
takes the judgment away. It helps them feel seen and heard. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the greatest gift you can give another human.
Yeah. See them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that's what I bring anyway. I feel like that's what I want, is to help others feel seen and heard and lift other women up.
Yeah. I love that. What is
Ah,
it? Um, Big waves raise all boats.
yeah,
I
right.
love
The
that.
ripples, like you were saying
Yeah.
too, like the ripples are there, and the more we can serve, the more others will serve.
Yeah. But I think
Mm-hmm.
you also pointed to something that I've had to work on, is that being present,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know when I look too far ahead, that causes me great anxiety. And so I've had to really like tell myself, pull it back. You're thinking too far ahead. So I
Mm-hmm.
love your analogy of looking at our why self as our, where we'll be in 20, 30 years, but
Mm-hmm.
what do they have to say to us? What we would tell our 20-year selves is be more present, like, don't worry
Yes.
so much. And I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that they would tell us, I think they're probably telling us the same thing, because I know body wise, mentally, whenever I get too far ahead of myself, or usually my anxiety is because I'm thinking about things that are, it's the wrong time, the wrong place, right? It's too
Something out
far.
of your
Something has
control.
to happen first. Yeah, like it's like, no, I got to do
Mm-hmm.
this step first, and then that will lead to the next whatever steps
Mm-hmm.
for that. And so I like what you said, like walking into the room, why did I come in here? I think
Uh-huh.
we're thinking about the next things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why it's so easy to forget what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like when you're in a networking situation with, and you're meeting other people,
Mhm.
thinking about what you're going to say next or trying to remember their name or trying, all of those stressors that we can get lost in that instead of listening to them.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. To circle back to your point about celebrating the
yeah.
wins, the very so when I published the book, I threw a party. It was my birthday
Oh,
party, book launch, 20 years in business, and then we did a whole bunch of
nice.
house stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it was the very first time, I think, ever in my life where I crossed a finish line and celebrated it
Oh,
in the moment
I love
without my
it.
brain being on to the
Mm-hmm.
next thing. I was thinking about my next big project, but I was also like, that's not the right time. And
Mm,
I just was able to sit in
mm,
the accomplishment.
mm-hmm.
And I call it the receiving void. For so long, I'd been in this where you play catch up to your wins, where
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't realize you crossed the finish line because you keep moving it.
Yeah.
And like when you finally go, oh, well, I did that, but you're already on to like the next
Yeah.
five things or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, well, I can't celebrate it now. It's in the past. I gotta focus on. I, I love that it's that being present and acknowledging, I did it.
Yeah.
We did it. I did it. Pom poms, like,
I love
let's
it.
celebrate it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I teach clients that all the time. I show up with my pom
Mm-hmm.
pom and I'm like, before we go to that, we got to celebrate this.
Right.
Like there's at
Yeah.
least one win a week. And um,
Exactly.
I think when you talked about like calming the brain and
Mm-hmm.
being more present and really just showing up, you know, we underestimate how much of a win that can be,
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's that's a huge win. I'm like, girl, you're meditating. I more power to you because I can't shut my brain off long enough to do it, but I want to. I want to
Mm-hmm.
get to that point where my brain isn't always thinking a million miles.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a practice, that's for sure. And the distractions are normal, but noticing you're distracted, that's the win. Noticing, okay, I just got distracted. I thought about what I have to do next. And okay, take another deep breath and just be in the moment. What am
Mhm.
I hearing in this moment? What am I feeling, seeing, smelling, engaging your senses
Yeah,
and just being in that moment.
very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love that. Really the celebration is sitting in gratitude, right? Being
Yeah,
grateful for the process, the every day, and just being grateful for the accomplishment too, but
yeah.
just in general, a gratitude that I think it sets you up for future success too.
I
Being
think
in
so.
gratitude really solves a lot of problems.
Yeah. I do find that when I get super anxious or I get super worried, coming back to a place of gratitude. What
Mm-hmm.
can I see? What can I be grateful for in this moment? And
Exactly.
also pull back. I never had a gratitude practice until probably the last 4 years where I really was, I mean, I was always grateful, but I didn't have that practice of journaling it, writing it down,
Mm.
consistently speaking it, sharing it. And so having that really helped a lot in terms of paying attention, right? Like being able to look at everything and be like, you know, they're still kids, but they're at home. Like they should have moved out, but I'm grateful that they're here because I love them and they make me laugh all the time, right? You know, yes, I have a lot of client work, but I'm grateful that I got a lot of client work.
That's a
You know,
Cadillac problem, right?
right? Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you have a gratitude practice, or is that just part of your meditation?
It's part of my meditation and just part of, I think, every day. It's easy to take for granted some of the things that are just like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, it's a beautiful day. It's the sun is shining. Gosh, I woke up today. Woohoo.
Woohoo!
Yeah, my hips. Okay, there's my hip reminding me that it's there. Yay, thank you, hip.
Right. I can still walk.
That's
Ah.
right. Look at me going up and down the steps like a ninja. Some of those things, just daily reminders of, yeah, I'm doing what I love. I'm serving my people. I'm moving towards my older, wiser self. And is it perfect? No. But
Right.
this thing today I'm very grateful for. And it's going in the right direction. And just, keeping all of those things that are working, the things um, that are moving you forward, that
Yeah.
are helping others. Those are the things I think that, when you focus on that, then the rest falls into place.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. The timing thing is hard for me. Like waiting for it, being patient enough
Mm.
to realize that the timing is none of my business. It's not up to me when it all falls into place. And,
Yeah.
being present enough to notice that, oh, this thing just fell into place. Falling into scarcity is, I think, a learned trait that, when you grow up. I grew up in a home that I
Right.
didn't know we were poor, but it felt very normal and healthy and loving and fun.
Yeah.
Only knew what I knew.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to fall back into, well, we've got to save for this. We got to save for that. This is, got to make hay when the sun shines. All of
Yeah.
the things that you hear as growing up, it's hard to break those habits of scarcity and realize that no, life is abundant.
Mhm.
Money is energy. It flows in, it flows out, and don't be so grabbing onto it that you
Yeah.
can't let it flow.
Yeah. That was a hard lesson to learn though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not what's taught. I don't,
Right.
I mean, I feel like our kids are, the
Mm-hmm.
generation that we're teaching will have that as their,
Yeah.
or at least more of their mindset. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know I did not do a great job until I started working on my money story. But, you know, my dad's always like, well, if I didn't give you something to talk about in therapy, was I even a good dad? And I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to take that mindset with my kids. Like, I thought I was an excellent mom, but you're still needing to talk to people in therapy. So go for it. You're going to take from your perspective is going to be different than mine because
Mm-hmm.
mine is filtered through my upbringing, the
Yeah.
voices in my head, and you have different ones.
Yeah.
But the even just taking the time doing the work to look at, is that even my mindset, is that what I want to think about, how I
Is
want to
that
think
serving
about
me
it.
now? Yeah.
Yeah, you know and then flipping it, we never stop doing the work, we just
Right.
level up, and it's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone gave me the analogy of, you know our journey is not necessary. I mean, there's some journeys that I feel are like paths that you go through, but
Mhm.
I feel like the healing journey is kind of this like spiral going up, but as you go up, it gets wide, well, like a tornado,
Oh,
right? It goes up
yeah.
like that. So you still circle back around, but it might be longer between, and you're at a different level up. So
Mm,
where you were down here, where it was maybe more painful, or you had a harder time talking yourself out of a
hmm
mindset, now you're like, no, I got the tools. I got the
mm,
vocabulary. I've done enough of this to where, okay, I see the pattern. Okay, but
uh-huh.
it's fewer and far, it's not as painful maybe,
Right.
or as we don't have to fight so hard
Yeah.
against the conditioning,
Yeah.
you know?
You recognize it quicker and
Yeah.
can get out of it quicker. I feel like yeah, it definitely is a process.
Yeah.
I love it. Can I switch gears on you?
You can do whatever you want. It's your podcast.
Right. Okay. Well, at the end of every conversation, I love to bring it back around to cocktails.
Okay. I came prepared.
Oh, good. So what? Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
What is it? What's your favorite?
So because I got diagnosed with diabetes, I don't drink as much. So I was like, what kind
Uh-huh.
of cocktail am I going to bring to this? Um, I have it's a peach tea, Crystal Light. And
Yes.
with, I do, instead of water, I do it with sparkly water.
Vodka. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
sparkly
I jumped
water.
ahead.
No, vodka tonics are my drink of choice. When I do
Okay.
drink, that is the one
Uh-huh.
that I go towards. I used to do all the real fruity drinks because I didn't like to
Uh-huh.
taste my alcohol. And
Oh, yeah.
so, but now my body's like, nope,
No
that's probably
sugar.
not a good idea.
I get it. Yeah. So it's kind of a mocktail, but it has a little sparkle to it.
Yes.
I
I
love it.
like the bubbles.
Yeah, I love bubbles too.
Yeah.
I prefer champagne, but yeah. But
Yeah.
bubbles, yeah, I do.
It's barely noon here in San Diego. I'm not about, I'm
Okay.
like, I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere,
Yeah.
but
And it's Friday. We're talking on a Friday. So
I know. Well, maybe I'll dump this one out. I'll have this one.
I will not judge whatever you decide to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's your
fun.
favorite?
Oh gosh, depends on the day for me,
Okay.
but I will never turn down bubbles. Champagne or prosecco, I love them both. You
Oh,
know, if champagne is
Moscato?
available. I don't like Moscato.
No.
It's a little too sweet for me. I don't
Okay.
really like sweets. I'm
Um,
really lucky. I have no idea how that happened because my my parents both loved sweets, and mom always had a cake for the week. She'd bake a cake on Saturday, and it would be, you know, what we.
huh.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And Dad always had cookies in his drawers in his nursing home. You'd open any drawer, and there'd be cookies in it.
Maybe my husband. That's gonna be my husband. Little
Yeah.
Debbie's and
Oh, all the
Snickers.
things.
I love that.
The little
I'm
sweet tooth. Yeah. So what's a fun memory with your friends or family?
gonna make my friend listen to this so that she can
Okay.
hear that I'm telling you the story. So maybe I shouldn't say it because we were minors, but the very first time, and maybe this is why I like Crystal Light, but the very first time I ever had a drink, I'm still friends with my friend. We met in second grade. So fast
Oh.
forward, we were probably 12, 13. And I went out to visit her because she didn't live in my town. She lived about an hour away. So I went to like have the weekend with her, and it was hot. It was, the outskirts of Chicago, and it was hot. And they made lemonade. And I'm drinking this lemonade, and I'm like, this is so good. And I'm downing this drink. Like,
Oh
this is
no.
the best lemonade I've ever had.
Uh-oh.
And she and the friend that we were with laughing their butts off because it was spiked with vodka. And I didn't know. I'd never had a drink. I didn't know what it tasted
Yeah.
like.
It just
And
was
I was like, it was,
especially delicious.
yeah. So, yeah. So that was
Oh
like
my gosh.
my first drink. And I couldn't tell you like how I behaved or anything else. I just remember them laughing so much, going, "Yeah, we spiked it with vodka," and me like going, "Well, it's still really good," and just like, can I have
Oh.
another one? And it's like I don't even remember like I don't remember being hungover or I don't have any
Really?
memory of that, but I just
Uh-huh.
remember being like, "This is the best thing
Wow.
I ever had."
If that was your first experience with alcohol and you don't remember being hungover, then my guess is it wasn't spiked very much.
Probably not. But then I am a lightweight, so
Oh gosh. Well, you would remember that if you were, you know,
my
sick
husband and
from
I
it.
just went to Mexico and we go to the
Oh,
all-inclusive resorts and they're
uh-huh.
always trying to push alcohol on you. And we're not big drinkers, but we went to one restaurant and I had two vodka tonics and I kid you not, my husband, I'm like, we got to go back to the room because I'm going to pass out. Like I couldn't even hold two. So I was
Yeah.
always a cheap date. I'm like, one drink, I'm good. Then I switch to water.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. I am not a cheap date. So
No,
this has been so fun,
this
Rachel. I
really
appreciate your
has.
time.
Thank you, Penny. This was really fun. I enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah, you too. I feel like we're very much aligned.
I think
Yeah.
so.
How can people find you to learn more about your services and your book?
Um, they can find me at www.extrahands with an S va.com. If they want to email me, schedule a call, they can find me. Our podcast is on all the platforms. My book is on all the major retailers. The ebook is just on Amazon right now, and I'm
Got it.
on the social media platforms.
And I'll definitely include those in the show notes and my email to subscribers and stuff so people can find you a little easier.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. This has been, again, so fun, and I really appreciate meeting a new friend.
Thank you. I look forward to chatting with you again.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks, Rachel. Have a great day.
Bye, Penny.
Bye. That's a wrap on this episode of Penny for Your Shots. If you loved today's conversation, don't let the inspiration stop here. Get my weekly insider updates straight to your inbox. It's where I spill behind the scenes goodies, exclusive tips, and all the fun stuff I don't always share on the podcast. Sign up now at pennyforyourshots.com/insider. I'll see you in your inbox next Thirsty Thursday. Cheers!